Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. Another beautiful day, absolutely beautiful. This morning, I guess a mockingbird came in my backyard. It's been going all day long. He's been going at it, and what beautiful songs he's making. But this kind of late in the season. Usually they don't do that, so we'll see if we could find him. But we got that wrench to finish up. Let's get downstairs, see what we got. Do you hear him? Okay, we're back down the shop, and as promised, I tried to get this wrench out by Friday. Couldn't do it. Don't want to rush it. Sometimes, especially when it comes to paint and things like that, you don't want to rush these things. So let me show you. I got two wrenches. I actually picked them up on eBay. Let's go check them out. Okay, believe it or not, I won this lot on eBay for the price of $1. The reason I won the price of $1 is because the shipping was $14. So that's why nobody bid on it. But the price obviously was the $15 for the two wrenches, which is $7.50 a wrench. I could deal with that. And let me tell you, it wasn't because I wanted it, but actually I wanted both of these wrenches. This, is a here, it's a Wizard number 9. Very popular. Did these a couple times on the channel, but I like to customize these, with drilled out holes, lightning holes. I know it riffed a lot of people when I did that last time, but I love that wrench and I want to do another one slightly different. And then this here, this Trimo, I saw this John Fix did a nice job on one of these, but the Trimos with the wood handles you don't see too often, especially if you get a nice tight wood. And I'm not a big fan of wood steel, but these handles were so nice, and I like the Trimos. And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. So this is the one we're going to do today. Let's take a look at it. Okay, obviously, a couple things that need to be addressed on this wrench. First of all, you see there's some staining and everything, and this is a classic wrench, okay? And when I say classic wrench, we have our limitations of what we want to do, but like I always said, Trimo never did their look at that. They probably took 2 seconds to grind this. They never went the extra mile on it. If Billings put this wrench out, it would be pristine. But anyway, so we're going to fix it up. Take a look at it. I want to do the back up nice. I want to get rid of all the grind. See this grind mark here? It was painted, obviously, the wrench, they used to paint them, and then we'll straighten out the jaw. And we have a little play here, which I think it needs a spacer. We can maybe fabricate one of them. Let's get to it. Okay, here we are at our post-wire brush evaluation. You can see, obviously, you got to look for a nice knurling on your knurl ring, because that is hard to replace, and this one's perfect, so we're lucky with that. But see, this is what patina hides, and this is why I do the wire brush evaluation before I start, because some things you're going to see right off the bat if this is mushroomed down or something. But you could see the pings, the dents over here. You could see, obviously, we got a little bit of jaw work we have to do. But look over here. This is bad. This is the worst kind of pit, that deep pitting over here. And that's deep, right? You look at the thickness of the wrench, you say, but it looks deep, but it's never as deep as you think. So, but that, I didn't see that. It's covered by rust, or patina usually is. And this side's not so bad, but we got a lot of denting on the back here. See this here? Look at the denting back there from somebody, hammering on the back of the wrench. But we'll take it out and clean it up and get it hopefully back to, I don't know, this G7639. I don't know what that number is. Like I said, I don't think that came from the factory, but it was definitely stamped on. Maybe it was a government wrench or something like that, and they marked it down with a serial number. I got to look at John's video again and see if that had any numbers on it. So, okay, let's get to the taking off this stuff. Okay, we're coming along good with the wrench, and you see this area here. Now, anybody that does restorations is saying, yeah, that's a tough part in there. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to get in there, and it is. And what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. and I've messed up a couple of wrenches doing this, but you know what? This is the fun of it, you know? Let me show you how I try and get in there. What I do is I clamp it down like this here, okay, on the edge of a table. Clamp it down, and okay, this is gonna look a little awkward here, but what I do is I take the angle grinder here, and remember, on the angle grinder, the edge has abrasive. Now what you do, again, you practice with this off, because you don't want to hit this handle, God forbid. What you do is you raise it up here and you drag it across the top like this a couple times, and hopefully that'll give you a good result. So let's try it out. Okay, you see we got that area now. We don't want to drag it down too far this way, so now we're going to flip the wrench around and go from this end the other way and get the back. Now it's the same way here. You got all these casting marks in here, you know, where they don't want to grind at the factory because it takes too much time. So, you know, figure, how can we get in here? How do you get, again, you use the edge of that flap disc, and it's all about how you mount it into the vise. And that's why I love these 700 Stanley vices. You know, you put it in here like this, right? Okay. Give it a nice tighten up, and you can see now I'm going to drag the edge of that disc down like this and try and get that area here. And again, you try it out with the grinder off to see if the angle, you say, okay, I need to move it just a little bit like this, and give that a shot like this. Just drag it across the edge here. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, you're not going to get, like I said, it's not going to get perfect, but that'll get you down to where you can do some sanding with some other, you know, other apparatus that you have in the Okay, we got a few hours into this wrench, and I'm happy with the way it's coming, but now this is where the wrench has to talk to you, and you have to decide what you want to do with it. Now, I don't want to do a polish, a full polish, you know, mirror polish on here, because then the fingerprints show up. You see, the way it is now, it's like a brushed steel, similar to the factory, but better, but no fingerprints, you know, and that's what I like about this, you know, with just taking it from the belt and then polishing it from here. I like this little, you know, dimpling up here from the casting, yet we did a nice, you know, it accents it. I'm liking it. I just have a dream about how I want this wrench to come out. Now, the handle, you see, we did the handle, sanded it down nice. Now, if you think you're just going to slap some linseed oil on there and Bob's your uncle, it ain't going to happen. It's going to look like crap. Here's what you do. First, you're going to have to stain it, okay? And we use a gun stock stain, and then we're going to have to finish it with a finish to protect the stain. But, you know, that linseed oil, yeah, everybody likes it because it's easy, but, you know, a couple years down the line, your tools all look like this, you know what I mean? And this is a patina on wood, and that's what it looks like. But that's not for this wrench. I mean, why have a shiny wrench and a dirty handle? So we're gonna fix that up nice. We're gonna gun stock that, then we'll clear coat it, we'll polish it out, and I hope I can get it done by tomorrow. Now you know my favorite part. Remember what this Trimo wrench looked like before we started. And we are calling this wrench done. This one took a little bit longer than, like I said, than expected. First of all, like I said, I didn't want to do a mirror finish on here, but it's nice. It's got the grain that, you know, that all the wrenches came with. Remember, this was all dinged up in the back. Fixed that. Remember what the top looked like. Remember the top, how, you know, it had all them grinding lines. I filled in with black. I watered down some, or thinned out some black paint to make that ink-like, to highlight all the areas back here. And I like, you know, this is the classic look, the black. Look at the handle here. The handle I did with gun stock, 3 coats of shellac, and then I buffed it, waxed it. You know, this will obviously wear in. The back, remember what the back looked like before we did it, and you know, I always like doing the back. You remember we had that, you know, the rotting on the one side, the pitting. I don't know which side it was on now, I forget, but it's all gone. The pitting is all gone. This is just a pretty wrench. Now look at that. That's just a classic, beautiful wrench. And you know, I'm not a fan of wood and steel mixed together, but when you get a tight handle, you know, it's 1 out of 10 wrenches or screwdrivers will have a perfect handle that won't ever swell or stay with the wood, and this is one of them. So when you find one that's tight, you grab it, but most of them 1 out of 10. And you see now I'm touching it all the time, and you're not seeing a lot of fingerprints because you know, I don't take it to that full deep polish. In fact, believe it or not, this one was shinier than this. I had to take it back to the belt because it just, you know, it was picking up a little bit of, but this is just the way I like it. Isn't that nice? That's a beautiful wrench. And you know, I know John, when I saw John Fix, he had his, and I said, boy, that's nice. I have a bunch of Trimos, never had one with the wooden handle. I do think this is just a classic wrench. I've made that little washer in there. See that washer? I did that on the lathe, and you could see it takes out all the excessive slop that was in there, and did the jaws. This is just a classic wrench. I love it. So in closing, I hope you enjoyed that Trimo wrench restoration. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a nice day. Take care now. Bye-bye.